866-582-9933. Give me a shout. Lines are open. Let's go to Roberto in South Lyon, Michigan, maybe? Hey, Roberto. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Doc. Can you hear me okay? I'm on a headset.
You're coming in a little crispy. Just speak up. I think we'll be good.
I'll be glad to take it off. Hold on. How's this now?
It's a million times better.
Very good. Just a couple of quick subjects. I have a diabetic lady, mid-50s, 5'6", 110 pounds, on a couple of medications, one for high blood pressure and one for cholesterol. Heart condition, diabetic. I've been trying for weeks to get her to try something. She's never taken anything larger than a baby aspirin. So I tried to convince her into taking some cherry minerals, and she said yes. She's taken it for a couple of weeks, and we're talking about 1 tablespoon a day.
Wow.
She called me yesterday, and she says my shoulders are feeling a little better, and my hip is feeling, and I'm just in awe, of course.
Yeah.
But she says I have a problem because I'm having trouble sleeping. So I mentioned to her to take them earlier in the day. And this is a tablespoon of cherry minerals, and she's done that, and now she goes to bed, takes her medications, and she's getting heart palpitations. She decided to stay off of the cherry minerals one day and went to bed, and the palpitations did not occur.
Well, the palpitations undoubtedly were a side effect of the prescription medicine that she's taking. And, prescription medicines work in the body by upregulating and pushing certain biochemical pathways, right? And all of the biochemistry in the body works through vitamins and minerals and amino acids and the essential nutrients, right? Man is not synthetic, right? So when you give somebody minerals or vitamins or really good medical nutrition, all of a sudden the medications that they've been taking their entire life start working way better, and you get side effects of the medications, and undoubtedly that's what's happening here, right?
Okay. So now I asked her, I sent her a couple of your webinars, but she keeps telling me she's going to one of the top heart doctors in Michigan, and I trust that. Of course, probably is, but that doesn't help the situation out much. So do I tell her to for her blood pressure medication? That's probably the one that's causing the palpitations, correct?
Well, it's a very, thank God for the Internet, because that's a very, very easy thing to look up. And she can just do a Google search for the meds that she's taking, or she can call a pharmacist. I mean, that's what she pays these guys for. Just have her get in touch with a pharmacist and say, look, I'm getting palpitations now. Which one of my medications is doing it to me? She'll be able to understand. This is a tough road, Roberto, because, she's not really in all the way. It's kind of like pulling teeth. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The next thing to give her, if she's willing, would be the Cal Toddy. The next thing would be the Cal Toddy. I would give her 3 ounces a day. Well, actually give her 1 ounce twice a day for 14 days. Give her 1 ounce twice a day for 14 days. Have her take one of those doses immediately before bed, 1 ounce of the Cal Toddy twice a day. Stopping the 10 bad foods, that's free, right? That doesn't cost anything. You can send her the webinars that I've done about that to try to encourage her to at least give it a try.
That I will.
Yeah, but
I listened, by the way, to yours webinar, myth busting, the cholesterol myth busting.
I know.
Oh my goodness, I knew about it, and I'm still shocked.
I know. Well, welcome to our life, man. I mean, this is what we do, right? It's like we're just standing up and saying, look, these are the facts. You're welcome to your own opinion, but you're not welcome to your own set of facts, and these are the facts. And it's really an eye-opener for a lot of people. But my experience, Roberto, has been that most people over 50 years of age don't want to believe the cholesterol stuff. And if they're over 60 years of age, forget it. It's the rare individual that's over 60 years of age that's going to, want to really look at the truth of the matter, because they've been boonswoggled their entire life. It's a tough nut to crack.
Well, by the way, your first hour was excellent. I've been a dental technician for 38 years. Yeah. Always working, always mobile. But I'm getting out and jumping into longevity both feet, because I cannot compete with the world's technicians anymore. What I am charging, people are charging 25% of my price worldwide. Dentists are sending their work. I'm a dental technician, so they're sending their crown and bridge work to Vietnam, and I can't operate on that level. I understand free market in the world. I just don't want to be a part of that game. And well,
it's an interesting thing to talk about, Roberto. We don't talk about that much here, but this is really endemic in the construction industry. I mean, with illegal aliens, that's how these guys are making money. I just had my roof replaced about 6 months ago, and they did a really great job, and it was a really affordable price. But the entire crew was Mexican, and they were great workers, but I had no idea how many of them were legal. I had no idea what they were being. I figured out how long they were at my house and how long it took them to do the roof, and I'm calculating the cost of the materials, and I honestly don't know how they made any money unless they were paying these guys $5 a day. You can't compete with that. You just can't. So, you're a smart individual. My advice to you, Roberto, is call Longevity.
I have it deep, Doc.
All right, so lean on your upline. Lean on your upline. Shannon
May from Texas.
Well, there you go. You're in good company with Shannon May.
Oh, I am. Very good.
Yeah. All right, that's really great.
I appreciate so much your information, and I hope to talk to you again soon, Doc. Thanks again.
Roberto, keep up the good work, brother, and keep the faith. Remember, you got to show it to 10 to get 1, and when people give you a hard time about it, it's just time to move on, brother. I mean, think about Noah. Put yourself in Noah's shoes, right? I mean, can you imagine what he felt like? Imagine what he felt like until it started raining. And then the last laugh was on him. Just keep up the good work. It'll get better shortly. You're welcome. All right. Now we're going to shuffle on over to Pennsylvania. Talk to Dave about a heart transplant. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Dave. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Doc. Can you hear me okay?
Man, you're coming in loud and clear. How's everything going in Pennsylvania? Getting a little cold snap there?
Well, we got, I live in the southern part of Pennsylvania, about 50 miles north of Baltimore, but 25 miles south of Harrisburg, to give you. And this last snowfall came through. My wife and I were hunkered down. We got about 8 inches of fresh snow. So anyhow, I am double blessed. The Lord not only blessed me with a new regenerated heart back in 1966 when I accepted Him, but after 2 heart bypass surgeries, a second one in 2008, I've been blessed with a transplanted heart 4.5 years ago. And that's kind of my testimony. However, the downside is that these rascals, and I say that as lovingly as I can, I'm on immunosuppressants of, let me stop and get my thoughts here, cyclophorin yet and Cellcept. And, of course, the nasty side effects. So what is your experience, or, I'm told or led to believe that a transplant patient will never, ever get off of the immunosuppressant anti-rejection medication. Is that
Well, that's
true?
correct. Unless there's a divine intervention, I've never seen that happen, because, the body wants to reject the tissue that's not its own, and the heart is somebody else's tissue. But I've got good news for you. I'm glad that you called. And I got to thank Dr. Wallach for this, because I learned this directly from Dr. Wallach, not from a third party, but directly from Wallach. We had a long conversation about this. And this is something that is overlooked. I mean, it's like it's right in front of our face, but we don't see it. Drugs work in the human body, not through pixie dust and fairy dust and water. Drugs work in the body. And I don't care what kind of a drug it is. by upregulating or downregulating, by manipulating the natural biochemistry of the body.
Right.
The natural biochemistry of the body is vitamins and minerals and amino acids and essential fatty acids. That's what the body is made from, right? So when anybody takes any drug for an extended period of time, I don't care if it's an immunosuppressant, I don't care if it's an antibiotic, I don't care if it's a blood pressure med or a blood sugar med, doesn't matter. When anybody takes a synthetic drug for an extended period of time, that drug burns through your nutrient reserves, which is why, every couple of years, the MD has to increase the dose of the blood pressure med, or they have to add a second blood pressure med because the first one isn't working as good as it used to. Or they have to triple the dose, right? They have to mess around with it because it stops working. It's not working as efficiently as it did before. Well, why is that? Because your body has burned through, the drug has burned through all of the nutrients that it needed to make the drug work, and you're not putting those back in the body. Honestly, in a perfect world, it would be illegal, it would be mandatory for drug manufacturers to put in with the drug the nutrients necessary for that drug to work, because they all generate nutrient deficiencies. Now, this is good for the drug manufacturers because what it means for them is you need to increase the dosage of the drug over time, or you need to add a second or a third or a fourth drug. I've seen patients who are on 4 different blood pressure medications. You got to be kidding me. This is good for the drug companies because when your bodies are nutritionally deficient, you become ill. And then when you take drugs, they increase your nutrient deficiencies even more. And the drugs stop working. I'm going to tell you how to get on the other side of this, Dave, when we come back. I am so very glad that you called today. This is a very important thing to discuss. Stick around, folks. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is another live issue. Fire your MD now. 866-582-9933. Give me a shout. I'm talking to Dave from Pennsylvania, heart transplant guy. Dave, you still with me?
I am still with you, doctor. If I can share with you, I'm 4.5 years out from this heart transplant, and a year ago I picked up a very serious throat infection.
Yeah.
And after I had this throat infection, and I was questioning the transplant team, the level of the Celsep, one of the immunosuppressants they had me on. And
right.
They said, oh, no, you're within the level. Anyhow, to make a long story short, Doc, after I come down with this infection, which I ended up in the hospital after I seen the infectious disease doctors for 5 days, lost a terrible sickness. Anyhow, they cut the Celsep in half. So I'm asking myself, well, gee, do you think you might have me over-medicated? So I'm constantly, like, for instance, my cyclosporine level, she tells me, the range they want me in is 150 to 200. And the last 2 months, it's been at like 190, and then it's been at 20. I'm trying to think, just a little over 200. And she tells me, no, we're not going to get back yet. So I said, okay, we're going to go 1 more month, and then we'll talk about it next month when I get, my levels checked again. So that's kind of what I'm up against and don't get me wrong, I dearly love and I'm thankful for the medical people, the transplant people, but I'm also, let me use with you, I came off, I've been a diabetic on insulin for I don't know how many years, and I just came off all my insulin completely. It's November 22nd, and I've been able to and I'm trying and I haven't told the transplant team this yet, but I'm on your product. Is it the Sweeties product?
Yeah, Sweeties, yep.
Yep, yeah, I'm on that, plus I'm on some other supplemental, but I mean, I'm smart enough to do my due diligence here and question, the people, hey, look, if we're going to disagree, let's disagree agreeably. But let's talk about, I've been blessed with a transplanted organ. Let's take care of this organ so that, that whatever the good Lord allows me, like you say, without divine intervention, a month before I received the transplant, I was made aware of a program over in India that was in its infancy stages because I was at a conference down at the hospital the month before I got the call for the organ. And I asked this question, and they said, oh, yeah, it's in India, where they take the stem cells from the patient's hip area and they inject it into the bloodstream, and they're able to use that in place of these deadly immunosuppressants, if I may use that term.
Yeah.
And
well, it's interesting, but you sound like a smart, on the ball, results oriented guy. But just think of how many people there are in the world, Dave, who are not like you. Think of how many people there are in the world who just don't ever question or pay any attention to what the doctors do, and they just trust that the doctor, is competent and has their back on it, and they fail. And this is why the leading cause of death in the United States is MD-directed medicine. This is why. It's not only because the therapeutics are misguided, old-fashioned, outdated, and, driven by money, but it's also because just good old-fashioned incompetence. And the problem is, because MDs hold such positions of power, for whatever reason, for good or for bad, they kill people and they get a pass. They kill people, they let people down, they overdose people, they get a pass. And it's what this means is that what the average citizen needs to do is double and triple check what their medical doctor is doing. You don't have to be a knucklehead about it. You can just do it nicely and gentlemanly, right, which I'm assuming you're doing. But the fact of the matter is that we're paying these people exorbitant amounts of money, and we have to double and triple check what they're doing? I mean, that's nonsense. I mean, that's like, going to a really nice restaurant. You save up all your money and you take your sweetheart out to a really nice restaurant and you're willing to pay $200 for an entree. But what you have to do is go into the kitchen and make sure the chef is doing everything just right. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't put up with that. You'd never go to that restaurant. But this is what we put up with our medical professionals all of the time. And it's a crying shame. Now, look, the good news here is that when you give your body the proper nutrients in a holistic fashion, all of the nutrients that your body needs are appropriate for your body weight, the immunosuppressive drugs will work better, and you'll be able to take less of them. And I'm going to dial that in just for you when we come back. 866-582-9933. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this Tuesday, December 10th edition, Fire Your MD. All right, Dave, I'm going to have to blow through this a little quick because I have a couple other callers that have been waiting patiently. Okay. So, what is your current body weight?
My current body weight's about approximately 140 pounds, Doctor.
Oh, all right, very good. So what we recommend for everybody is two things. Number one, you have to stop eating food that is hurting the body, and we've identified 10 foods that have net negative effects on that body. There are 10 foods that you, me, and everybody else needs to stop eating immediately. And you can get that list for free at my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Right there on the front page, if you sign up for my free newsletter, you're going to get a copy of the good food, bad food list, which will have the 10 bad foods on it. Number one, the recommendation is you eliminate those foods from your diet completely. Number two, you need to provide your body with 100% of the 90 essential nutrients that it needs. You can't just take a couple of minerals. You just can't take a few things for blood sugar maintenance. You have to give your body everything that it needs in absorbable recipes appropriate for your body weight. And once you've got that dialed in a comprehensive, holistic fashion, we take a little bit extra stuff because of the heart transplant history, and then life is good. And then our recommendation is you do the full-blown program for 90 days, 90 days, and you look to see what happens to your blood work. You look to see what happens to the quality of your life. You look to see what happens to your blood sugar numbers, to your mood, to your energy, to your appetite, to your weight, to everything. Subjectively, how you feel, and objectively, what your blood sugar numbers look like, what your immunological blood work looks like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very, very easy thing to track. There's no harm and no foul, and your very pleasant experience should be that once you've saturated your body with the correct nutrients and eliminated the crappy food, that the immunosuppressant drugs are going to work better. They're going to work better, more efficiently, and you'll be able to take less of them with the same results, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. So the recommendation for you, Dave, as an experiment for 90 days would be 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, 1 healthy blood sugar pack, 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and 1 Cardio FX. 1 Cardio FX, 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and 1 healthy blood sugar pack. Get those supplements once a month, take them for 3 months, eliminate the 10 bad foods, and give me a call back every 3 or 4 weeks with an update, looking to see, as you go down the road, what happens to you across the board, not just with your blood numbers, not just with your sugar numbers, but with you. Mood, energy, appetite, sleep, etc., etc., etc. Look for a positive change, Dave. You are going to love how you feel. I got to move on, brother. I appreciate the phone call. I appreciate the trust. Now get out there and get her done. Going from Pennsylvania to Nebraska. Man, oh man, we are all over the country today. Let's talk to Tom. Hey, Tom, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking out your time letting me get on.
Hey, that's my job, Tom. I'm happy to help. How can I help?
Well, I'm a distributor. I've been one for some time, and we take the products, but I just started a gentleman that has Parkinson's, and I am not very familiar with the Parkinson's. We did watch your webinar on Parkinson's, which was very, very informative. But some of the things I need to know is the Z-Radical, how much should he take a day and how often?
Nobody knows. Great question. Nobody knows, right? I mean that's the honest answer, right? Nobody knows. What I recommend people to do is you got to have at least 1 bottle per 100 pounds per month. I mean, that's the minimum. 1 bottle per 100 pounds per month of the Z-Radical. Now, if money's not an issue, then for goodness sake, I would do 1 bottle of Z-Radical every 4 days. I would do 1 bottle of Z-Radical every 4 days. So that means I'd be doing about 7 bottles a month of the Z-Radical. No kidding. I would dial that in. Whatever he can afford. And it's got to be at least 1 bottle per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Either that or the Fucoid Z, I think in the case of Parkinson's disease, because of the extra added antioxidants in the Z-Radical liquid, I think that would be a better way to go. But the honest answer is, regretfully, nobody knows the dose of that. I wish I had a better answer for you. Right.
Okay, now, what about Tangy Tangerine? I got the Tangy Tangerine, the 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. That recommendation.
Which one should we go with?
Well, the 2.0 is better for this because the 2.0 has more antioxidants in it than the old version, the original version. The peach-flavored one, 2.0, has more antioxidants. And that's an important point when we're trying to optimize the function of the central nervous system. More antioxidants would be better there. The recommendation there is 1 bottle per 100 pounds per month. And what that parses out to on a day-to-day basis is 1 level scoop per 50 pounds per day. And, depending on the lifestyle, so let's say he's 200 pounds and he needs 4 scoops a day. Well, he could put 4 scoops into, 32 ounces of water in first thing in the morning and just drink from that slowly all day long, making sure it's gone by the time he goes to bed. Or he can do 1 scoop in 10 ounces of water 4 times a day. The key with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and quite frankly, most of the liquid supplements, is drinking it slowly, over the course of a half an hour or an hour or 2, rather than just chugging it down, because slower gives the body a better chance to absorb it. So we recommend slow and steady with any of the longevity liquids, with the possible exception of the white liquid calcium.
Okay, that's what I got him on. I don't have him on quite that much, but I'll get him. I told him I'd get with you, and then I'll increase it. Okay. On the eggs.
Well, I know what Dr. Wallach says. Dr. Wallach would say, quit your whining and eat 12 eggs a day. But I don't know, realistically. I think I've met 3 people in my entire life who can actually do that. But it's not just eggs, right? We go after eggs because it's a cheap form of easily digestible cholesterol. It's a cheap form of easily digestible cholesterol. But he doesn't just have to lean on eggs because it's the cholesterol that we're after in the case of central nervous system dysfunction, which is what Parkinson's is. So we want to go crazy for cholesterol. So eggs, butter, turkey skin, chicken skin, rare meat, rare hamburger, butter, full-fat milk, full-fat yogurt, cream, anything that's high in cholesterol would be advised here. Even Harvard University agrees with us on this, and they recommend a diet for Parkinson's patients that's 80% fat. 80% fat, imagine that. So you can't go wrong with, I mean, if I could find it, if longevity had it, cholesterol in a pill, you know, a little capsule of cholesterol, I'd have them do that. But they don't. But, you know, whatever source he's comfortable, and he can switch it up, you know, do turkey on this day and eggs the next day and chicken with the skin on the next day and so forth and so on. But he's got to go crazy for cholesterol.
Okay. Now, he asked me this question. He said, can I take the eggs raw?
Yes, he can do the eggs raw, but if he does the eggs raw, he has to add into his program the D-stress, D like David stress, the D-stress, because your body needs B vitamins, B like baby. Your body needs B vitamins in order to metabolize a raw egg. There's no harm and no foul in doing a raw egg, as long as his body is extra supplemented with the B vitamins, and the easiest way to do that is with the longevity's D-stress.
You said B vitamins, not E vitamins, right?
Yeah, B like baby, correct. B like baby, correct.
Yeah, okay. He says he can take the raw eggs, no problem.
Great.
I told him I couldn't recommend for him to do that because I was worried about the bacteria maybe or something like that. But
well, all right, so that's another interesting thing to talk about. And the bacteria, the salmonella, that is found on the egg is only found on the shell. It's only present in the part of the egg that touches the chicken's butt. The salmonella is not inside the yolk. So if you're worried about that, and it's a good thing to be worried about, all you have to do is rinse the eggs in some water that's got a little bit of bleach in it, and any bacteria that's on the outside of the eggs, or use the PureWorks foam, the Longevity PureWorks foam. Just squirt that on the eggs before you use them, and there's no more salmonella, and life is good. And we have to, again, give credit where credit is due. That's the veterinarian and Dr. Wallach that's able to give us that information.
Well, he says he has no problem. He's just started on the products. He got them yesterday, and he said, I have no problem of eating 4 raw eggs at a time.
All right, great. Well, the other thing that he needs to keep an eye towards, and I talked about this in the webinar, of course, is increasing his antioxidant intake, right? So the goal, his daily goal of antioxidant intake is 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants, 100,000. Now,
100,000, okay.
He's going to get some of that in the supplements, right? But he can make up the difference with Triple Treat chocolate. That's a good way to do it. One piece of Triple Treat chocolate has 17,000 ORAC points. Or he can educate himself about foods that are high in antioxidants, right? So cinnamon, curry powder, green tea, walnuts, dark-skinned fruits, red wine are loaded with antioxidants. So he needs to educate himself about antioxidants and attempt to secure 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day, in addition to a diet that's high in cholesterol, in addition to the proper amount of the 90 essential nutrients. And the final nail in that coffin is complete elimination of the 10 bad foods.
Now, what other products do you recommend?
Well, the other products would be Z-Radical, as much as he can afford. And I wasn't lying when I said, one bottle every 4 days. I mean, that would be a really good place if you can do it.
I think they can afford it. I don't think they're poor like I am.
Well, not for long. If you, and I encourage you really, Tom, to lean on your upline. If increasing your net worth, if building a financial legacy is something that you find, beneficial for you, then I would call Longevity. I would say, look, here's my name, here's my customer ID number. I want to talk to somebody in my upline who's financially successful. And then you lean on them for coaching. And so lean more, man. Lean more, because ultimately...
my immediate upline, I really don't have any, but Barb and Dave Pickhawk is my upline. You probably heard of them. So
you bet I have. So lean on them. They're some of the best in the industry, and you lean on them heavily, and life is good. We're out of time here, Tom. I appreciate your phone call. I appreciate your trust. I appreciate your taking a stand for the health of someone in your community. It takes a certain special kind of individual to do this. This is another reason, ladies and gentlemen, why if you're not on board with Longevity, you don't know what you're missing. It's a fantastic community of people helping people. I'm going to finish it out with Wes in Idaho when we come back. Stick around.
Okay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very interesting show today. Very interesting talk with Mike Randolph and some very interesting callers. I hope that you've learned something today. And then I hope even more that you take it into action and start to make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of those in your sphere of influence. Let's finish it out today with Wes in Idaho. Hey, Wes, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden.
What's going on, Wes?
I wanted to know if wheat germ oil is also included in what you consider to be bad foods. I understand it's got octocosanol that Carlton Fredericks used to take patients out of a coma.
Yeah, that's right. There's octocosanol in it. So there's good stuff in wheat germ oil. There's also bad stuff in wheat germ oil. And kind of like, there is a point where the bad stuff in it outweighs the good stuff in it, and it's kind of like that. It's like, it's like wine, right? Wine is loaded with resveratrol and with phytonutrients and with antioxidants, and it's good for you. A glass and a half, maybe 2, depending on your body weight. But you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 glasses of wine. Wow, not so good anymore. The net negative effects start to build up. It's the same with any oil that's in a bottle. And, our advice, Wes, is generic for the masses, for everybody. We've developed foundation boilerplate health recovery protocols for the masses. And so for the masses, our advice is eliminate oil. Don't even look at oil. Don't cook with oil. Don't use any oil, no matter what. Now, you could make the argument that a little bit of wheat germ oil is not a bad thing, and I would agree. But neither you nor I nor the man in the moon knows where that cutoff point is. And as far as we're concerned, if you use any oil whatsoever, you're playing with fire, and it's only a matter of time until you get burned. Does that make sense?
What would be perhaps the detrimental effects of high wheat germ oil consumption then?
It would be the delivery to your body of free radicals, because any oil that's in a bottle oxidizes. And if you heat an oil, you wouldn't really heat with wheat germ oil, but any oil that's been in a bottle oxidizes, and so you're delivering to your body free radicals. And free radicals cause inflammation, cancer, and tissue death and destruction. As a matter of fact, one of the things that the longest-lived people around the world all had in common, the Vilcabambas in Peru, the Hunzas in Afghanistan, the Bama people in southwestern China, the Sardinians in the Mediterranean, and so forth, all of these cultures avoided oil. They didn't use oil in any way, shape, or form. And by eliminating oil from your daily or, weekly intake, you cut down on the net negative stress into your body. So it's free radicals which are found in oil that has oxidized, which are the big bad voodoo daddies in this regard.
If you can keep it from oxidizing, then?
Good luck, if you can, yeah. But see, the problem is, the only way that you'd be able to do that is if you pressed your own oil and put it into a bottle and immediately vacuum sealed it. Because when you buy oil over the counter at the health food store, you have no idea how long it's been on the shelf. You have no idea how long it's been in the truck. You have no idea how long it's been in that bottle. And the longer that it's in the bottle, the more oxidized it gets. And I'm not aware of anybody that's vacuum packing wheat germ oil as soon as it's made, or that's putting it into a nitrogenated bottle, right? I mean, if you know of somebody that's doing that, if you can find oil in a bottle there's nitrogen in there instead of air, well, then you're good to go. Or if it's vacuum packed, you're good to go. But I'm not aware of anybody that's doing that. And if you do it yourself, well, it may be too late because you have no idea how long it's been in transit. Wes, I wish I had more time to talk to you today. Really, really good questions. Keep up the good work in Longevity Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Thanks for all of your support. I look forward to forwarding our message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition every day. And God willing, I'll see you around campus tomorrow.